Time 7 o'clock. We'll call the November 28, 2022 Oak Park Board of Education regular meeting to order. Ms. Greer, would you please call the roll?
Clark. Here. Corcoran. Here. Davis. Here. Elvin.
Here.
Oda.
Here.
Perkins. And Smith.
Here. Good. We do have a quorum. Item 2 is recitation of the district mission and vision. Trustee Hoyt, do you have those available?
I do.
Would you mind, please?
Our mission is that our inclusive learning community provides the best academic and social experiences by educating the whole child, one child at a time. And our vision is cultivating visionary leaders and compassionate citizens to be engaged in the global community.
Thank you so much. Next item is the approval of the agenda and order of business. The agenda was shared with everyone prior to today's meeting. Are there any questions, concerns about the agenda as provided? If not, without objection, we will pass a motion to approve the agenda by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Seeing none, the agenda is hereby approved. And we will go to the consent agenda, which has 2 items: approval of minutes, approval of personnel actions. If there are any questions, please let me know if there are any questions at this point. If not, without objection, we pass a motion to approve the consent agenda by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Good, the consent agenda is hereby approved, and we'll go to reports. And our only report is from our superintendent, Mr. Angel Abdulahad. Mr. Abdulahad, you have the floor.
Thank you, President Alvin. I'm going to turn the time over to Brandon Giles to recognize Nona Waldron. I know we spoke about her last meeting, so without further ado, Mr. Giles.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. First of all, thank you guys for supporting not only our high school athletes, but our high school students who are doing well in the classroom. Nona has been at Oak Park for 4 years. She came to Oak Park in the 9th grade. She's taken AP classes. She's done all the work in the classroom. I think she may have 1 B on her transcripts. Right now, her GPA is 4.13, and she accepted a full ride scholarship to University of Southern California. Nona is one of the hardest working people in the classroom. She competes, she represents our school district with elite values on and off the track. She's a national champion in track, but she's a champion in the classroom, which is the most important thing. And you know, her success is success for all of us because she's setting an example for our kids to go to Einstein, Key, Pepper, OPA, and, you know, our upcoming students who want to excel in life and go to great universities. So, Nona, I want to present you with this award. Your hard work has not gone unnoticed. I know as a coach, I can be a little bit hard sometimes, but it's all for the best, and it's all for these type of moments. Her signing was November. What day was your signing? November. I'm sorry. She signed November 10th. Again, to the University of Southern California. Her scholarship is valued at about $350,000. That is a huge thing. She's worked for it. She's done work in the classroom, and she's been a model student athlete and a model student for our district. So, Nona, we're going to present you with this award of excellence. You can come and say a few words to the board, but you know this is Nona, everybody.
Go Trojans. Yeah, I just want to say thank you all for the acknowledgement. It really means a lot to me. Oh, this is so nice. Yeah, it was, I mean, it's not easy. So it just feels really nice for my hard work to pay off and for me to get this acknowledgement and get my accolades for all that I've done in high school.
And I just want to share a couple other things. So Nona's father was a good friend of mine. His name was Troy Waldron. He passed in July of 2021. Troy, her father, was adamant about her attending Oak Park. He did his research about what we offered, the academics we had, and you know, we obviously have a great track program, but he saw the district in a different light, and he knew that she could succeed here and he really he fought for her to be a student here. So it's very important to me that she's an example that going to Oak Park High School, you can excel and do great things and be, world leaders and whatever you want to be from here as well. So she's a person who's setting an example for everyone and anybody to say you can do it from anywhere. So, her dad was a very special person. He really pushed her. He really put a lot of work ethic in her academically and physically. As a coach, he made my job really easy. So, I'm happy for her. She's dealt with adversity. It hasn't been easy. Last year, she had to go through a whole season without her father, and she still was state champion. She still was national champion. So this is a kid who hasn't been handed anything. She's worked for what she's gotten. So, she's very soft-spoken right now. Maybe if we get a TikTok or something, we can get her. But listen, she's great. She's going to be great and continue to be great and represent our school district.
What are her events?
I run both hurdles. So 100 hurdles, 60 hurdles, and 400 hurdles.
Okay. And the scholarship is valued at $350,000. My next question is, let me hold something.
Certificate.
Trustee Crawford.
Yes, I'll say it.
Well, okay.
Okay, I have something to say. I did write up something because I didn't want to blab all over because I've been knowing you for so many years. And I knew your dad and I know your mom. And I got this tissue because it's emotional because it's a little, it's not too late, but it should have been already. And I'm sorry, but I have to say that anytime you're honoring someone, it never should be any adversity in the way to honor someone such as yourself. And I'm kind of glad that, it happened the way that it happened. I can just say that I can remember, Troy, just hollering. And I always wanted to ask you, could you actually hear him, like, hollering out your name when you were running? Because he would just be hollering. And I'm going to say this, I am elated and honored and to congratulate you on all your accomplishments. Also, it is a great honor to have known you since your adolescent years. Your accomplishments have and will impact someone to be just as great as you one day. I can remember when you and little Jay were sneaking downstairs to work out, and we were all looking for you guys where you were, but you guys were sneaking to work out in your dad's gym. I also wanted to say that I remember when the track girls, when you guys would be like on, out in on the out of town doing meets, and some of the girls wouldn't have, money and things, and your dad, he just always he would just look out for everybody. And when I hear that $350,000, I can hear him just saying, yes, it pays off because all that he did came back to you in that form. And I also just want to say that to your mom, Naia, very strong. She's a very strong lady. And I tell her that all the time because she's super strong. I don't know where she gets that strength from. And also, I just want to say that this is what hard work looks like. Dedication. In the midst of any hardship, we can do whatever it is that we want to do. And especially when you love what you do. And I'm going to just leave it like that because I'll probably talk for a whole nother hour. And I am so proud of you, and I tell you that all the time. And I just, I know this ain't the end, and it's just the beginning, but we're going to be rooting for you at all times. All right, you're welcome.
I would just ask, and I don't know if it's possible, but with her success story, I would love for us to have her talk to some of the younger kids that are in the district where she's not doing that. That's a travesty. They need to hear from one of their own, particularly those in 8th and 7th grade, as they get ready to matriculate to high school. Before they get started, they should know that, they can be just like her. And she can I know she's shy, she can do it through TikTok, whatever it takes. But, she should be the one to impart that wisdom. It shouldn't have to come from us all the time. And they tune us out. But, so for one of them around, I think that would be a good message. Trustee, go ahead.
So yeah, congratulations, Nona. As I said, as a proud USC alum, fight on. My student loan balance can testify to why $350,000 but I do want to say congratulations and how proud we are that how you have represented our district and will be representing our district as you move to the next stage. And I also want to recognize as well Coach Giles, who really has brought so much to our district and to our student athletes, and especially also in addition to being our coach in telling the story of Oak Park as our communications expert and making sure that out there on social media that the message is getting out. It's noticeable the effort and the pride that goes into that. So thank you so much for that. So thank you to Nona, congratulations, and thank you to Coach Giles. And yeah, there's now that USC's in the Big Ten, there's a rivalry.
We'll get to see you then. Like, we might get to see. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know when the track events are run in college, but it's probably like 2 degrees here. In any case, no, that's great. Anything else from any other board members? No.
That's all I have.
Okay. Well, thank you again.
Congratulations.
Thank you, congratulations. Coach Giles, thank you for all your continued hard work and success on the track. So, appreciate you. Our next item is public comments. Are there any, let me just backtrack. Trustee Smith, if you would please read the public comment guidelines.
Yes, because the Oak Park School Board of Education values public meetings, not just meetings of public, we welcome public comment on school issues. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner and due process for the dignity and privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. The public comment portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against a school board member or a school district employee that disrupts the order of the meeting and is totally unrelated to the manner in which the member or employee performs his or her duties. Speakers should be aware that if statements violate the rights of others under the law of defamation or invasion of privacy, such comments may result in legal liability. Most comments can be concisely stated in 3 minutes, and the board respectfully asks that comments remain focused on the topic or issue and not be directed at specific personnel or board members.
Thank you, Trustee Smith. Are there any members of the public who wish to address the board? Any members of the public who wish to address the board? Any members of the public who wish to address the board? All right, that was 3 times. All right. Hearing none, we will go to our information item. We have one Gallagher OPSD consulting proposal. Mr. Abdul-Had?
I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Hill.
Okay.
Hello. You all received a proposal in your packet, and basically our health insurance has gone up, literally about 10%. And we just want to be proactive for our employees, and we really need to shop it, just to see what's out there and to try to get a better rate. We currently, Mesa is currently our provider, and maybe we may have to have a one-on-one relationship with one of the insurance companies as opposed to having a flow-through. But we want to use the expertise of Gallagher to explore those options. And so that's where we are.
Questions? Trustee Hood.
How did we come to using this particular consulting company?
Well, let's see. They were suggested by I believe,
Benefits.
our benefits manager. And they work with a couple of other school districts.
And
They were listed in here too.
I believe the district had used Gallagher before. And so we know we're tied up with the teachers union. However, we have over 100 employees that we could shop for, so they're gonna work alongside us. And again, this was a relationship that existed that predates us, and so we met with them, we liked what they were saying. Again, this is a long project, this is not something that's gonna happen, whatever we explore won't take effect until 2024. So right now, we're just in the beginning phases of exploration and partnerships.
And in the proposal, there was a question about the fees, and they said the fees would be reasonable. Do we have a sense, a ballpark sense of what the fees are for this contract?
Yes, in number 15, it's $4,600 a month. And whatever they get in above and beyond that, and again, this is for 1 year, whatever they get above and beyond that, they would deduct from the monthly. So if they get a TSA reimbursement, then that would flow back to us. Because, if it's commission, if they get any kind of commission for connecting us, then that commission would flow back, and the baseline is $4,600. And that's on line item 15, I believe, or number.
I don't see it.
It's in the third paragraph of 15?
Let me see, I'm looking for it.
15 is
I
on
see it
page.
here.
Yeah.
Gallagher agrees to provide all services as outlined in exchange for an all-inclusive fee of $4,600 per month.
I must be looking at something wrong.
Not page 15, but
Number 15, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did we consider other companies, or are we just considering this one?
So, right now we're considering this one. They have a breadth of testimonials within Oakland County, including Troy and a few others that
See that?
that I connected with the superintendent, so they have high recommendation rating, and I believe some of that is also in the packet.
Yeah, Berkeley, Van Dyke, Lanphier,
Yeah.
Troy, Lake Orion.
Yeah. We're confident that 4,600 a month will yield savings on the tail end.
Well,
4,600 a month is no small number, right?
it's not, but 10% increase on healthcare is no small amount either. So even if we get a 2% savings, that is huge for what we're paying.
Any questions from any other board members?
Yeah, what are we looking at, what are we looking at in regards to a time, excuse me.
No, go ahead, finish it. And then
Okay. What are we looking for, what are we looking like in regards to a time criteria?
So this is informational. I did ask them to be here on December 12th
Okay.
to do a more thorough presentation with you. This is just more of just putting it out there. So they'll be here. It'll be a year because we have to go through a long process of exploration, comparing. As you know, Mesa will not let you compare apples to apples, so we have to kind of partner up and then see where the savings is at.
Okay, okay, thank you.
But it's about a year.
Okay, thanks.
Trustee Corcoran.
Thanks. It sounds like it's gonna be real complex, because I know that when you are comparing, especially when it comes to health coverage, it becomes very, very gray area.
Yeah.
And, we can say 4,600 per month, but then versus you're spending out $8,000 per month. And I'm not sure I can't remember where we are right now with the health coverage, but it is obvious that with it going up by 10%, and it just seems like everything's going up by 100%, because this Thanksgiving, I was like, whoa, wait a
Yeah.
minute. And that's just food, so imagine your health. And the incentives, I just want to just say this, is what incentives, like, how if you were to, not have hypertension, or if you worked out, they used to give incentives if you even joined the gym or something like that. So I think that would be, I don't know if that's already been asked to Gallagher, if they offer that, but I do remember, some health companies would give those type of incentives.
Absolutely, and we heard about them, and we would like to engage with some companies that offer that, because we're not currently offered that, so.
And Mesa won't even disclose details to us. So we've asked, and they're very tight with usage and things like that. So with Gallagher, they're very open with us, and when you work directly with Blue Cross Blue Shield, you get more of the details more right up front. But right now, we're struggling to get, for example, where is the usage? If it's ER or if it's scripts, what are the scripts? And it's like pulling teeth right now with Mesa.
Actually, I find that, really difficult to, you want your business, you want our business, but then you can't just, how are you going to know what you have, what at the end?
Because Mesa is run by the MEA, so they
Yeah.
don't need us to get our business, that's a
No,
requirement of the teachers' contract.
no. So what I'm saying is that I'm sure they're the big of the big and they don't need nobody, I get that. But again, here we have this company who's willing to negotiate or answer questions. I'm sure they might not be as big, but I'm sure they're not.
Right, but if the teachers, again, the teachers' union runs Mesa, and so in order to, so they, right now, it's in the contract that we can only contract with Mesa for healthcare coverage.
Yeah, I understand that, but then we're talking about not being with them anymore, is that correct?
Not with,
Mesa.
so, right, but not for the teachers' union, because it's in there. So really, just to try to get an hour meeting with them, the rep said, I'll give you 15 minutes.
Exactly, you're cutting
And
that
because,
back.
really, what's the benefit for him? We had to go through all the different options and pick out the options that we thought would be most beneficial, because we didn't have that two-way communication with Mesa. So we had to spend hours on comparing all the plans so we could try to get a savings for our employees. Right now, all the other employees are able to explore. The only ones right now, it's paraprofessionals and the teachers union. And our goal is, if we could show a huge savings with the independents and everyone else, then our hope is that people see like, wow, you're using, you're in this pool and you like it, and so now word of mouth travels, and that would soften the appeal of not always just sticking with Mesa.
What's the other pool?
So there's a pool right now of
It's like a community, like.
yes, like all the districts in Michigan, and they would introduce us to that pool. Right now, Mesa is not allowed to go into a pool. But this other pool is allowed, and so we're going to try to explore and spread the risk
Yeah, I got you.
amongst others. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, and because it's healthcare. I alone, I'm paying $1,200 a month just in healthcare, plus then you got all the other stuff. It's just,
You should look at an HSA.
they're pushing HSA on us. They're pushing
Pay
HSA.
$1,200 a month, you look at HSA, I'm just saying. Okay, all right. In any case, so our contract is not up until 12/31/2023, or what?
For the teachers?
Correct.
Teachers, June 30th.
Of this year? So we have 7/1 start on the contract for I'm sorry, not this year, for 2023?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. And that's the one that we're focused on here.
Yeah, but right now, all the independents are free. So we have over 100 employees that we could start looking at immediately with implementation of January 2024.
Of 2024.
Yeah, because it takes a year to
Correct.
go
So
through all
they've
that.
gone through their open enrollment.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, got it. Thank you. Any other questions from members of the board? Okay. Hearing none, we will go to communications. Any communications from members of the administration? Any communications from members of the board? Trustee Hoyer.
I had the pleasure a couple weeks ago of attending the Oakland County School Board Association joint meeting with the Oakland County Superintendent's Association at Cranbrook Institute of Science, and together with Mr. Abdulahad and Trustee Smith. And at that meeting, at the dinner meeting, the Oakland schools presented information about social emotional learning, and some of the statistics they shared really stood out, and I wanted to share them with the board and with the community. So among the information that they shared, in a survey that was done this year by the APA, the American Psychiatric Association, more than 40% of school administrators reported verbal or threatening violence from parents during COVID. 48% of school nurses say they felt bullied, threatened, or harassed since the beginning of the pandemic. Another study that was done by the Citizens Research Council of Michigan found that in this state we need 3 times as many school counselors, 4 times as many school social workers, 3 times as many school psychologists, and about 5 times as many school nurses to meet what is the recommended ratio by those professional organizations. And so, given those stats, it may not be surprising to know that in our schools here in Oakland County, in a survey that's called the MyFire, the Michigan Profile for Healthy Youth, they found that here in Oakland County, 50% of students reported that they had witnessed physical aggression 1 or more times during the past 12 months. 40% heard students threaten to hurt other students. 20% of students have purposely hurt themselves, and almost as many have seriously considered attempting suicide. 45.1% of students reported often or almost always they hate being at school during the past year. 39% reported that their teachers praise them when they work hard, which means 61% did not report that their teachers praise them when they work hard. And only 27.1% of students reported that their school lets their parents know when they have done well. In addition to that, some of the other indicators that are on there, 48.6% of students reported having people in their family who have serious arguments. 55.7% of students reported that their parents tell them when they're proud of something they have done. And 53.6% of students report that it's sort of easy or very easy to get alcohol. So seeing those numbers, it really speaks to the importance, the critical importance right now of addressing those needs within our district. And it's not going to come from hiring more social workers. As a social worker, I'll be the first one to say that. As we said, we're not anywhere close to that. So it's really finding those. It's not just a funding issue. It's not just a resources issue. It's about really making sure that every day in the classroom that we are attending to the needs of our students so that they feel safe and can learn. It's not about turning teachers into mental health professionals. It's about making sure that we are providing the supports that our students need so they can stay safe. And I think having those conversations, we started to have, Mr. Abdulahad and I started having those conversations during the presentation, which probably wasn't kind to the presenter, but that's how urgently I think these things are, and I hope that we can perhaps see some of those numbers, if that MyFi survey is available for our students, to see what are those numbers here and how can we target those. Even something as simple as including as part of a teacher's evaluation that they document when they are offering praise to students and communicating with parents. That's a on-the-ground item that we can measure that can make an immediate difference right now. And so I think thinking about those things in an urgent way. In the presentation, they said, these are things that take a long time to fix. Well, these students don't have a long time. They're not gonna be here in 10 years when those changes have been made. So we really need to attack it with some urgency, and provide for that.
Thank you, trustee Hoyter. Trustee Smith?
Yes. So I, along with Superintendent Abdullah and Vice President Hoyter, had the opportunity to attend the OCSBA meeting of the Oakland County School Superintendent's meeting as well. And I was giving basically just some feedback on the Oakland School IT shared services that was provided by Dwight Levis, who's the Executive Director of Technology Services. I was really taken aback in regards to our transition over the past couple of years for the Oakland Consortium, which basically offered their business office supports and IT field services and the service model structure. These were all entities that were supporting the local district cultures. They also expounded on, the different areas of IT that they were focusing on, which entailed cybersecurity, penetration testing, security information event management, multi-factor authentication, phishing and cybersecurity awareness training, endpoint detection and response, with current antivirus software, and then secure email. And it's important now because the fact that, we have a lot of hackers and so forth, those who mean to do harm to our districts, to major businesses, school districts. So I was glad to know that was in place, that we have a conglomerate of professionals who are supporting the infrastructures. So that's kudos off to them for that. Also, we have a conglomerate of current field service district partners within Oakland County who handle, our technology services throughout the districts. The MyPeer, MyStar, One Network, combined purchase of power, cybersecurity initiatives, collaborative leadership support, and some of the monthly OCSTL meetings, which is the meetings between the IT partnerships that they have. And with the combined services, they were actually able to save an overall $15.5 million in this conglomerate, this more combined infrastructure. So that was a good to hear. Also, just for numbers, I also wanted to just say that within the district partners that they have, they're supporting 158 plus buildings, 20,500 staff, 20,500 plus staff, and 140,000 plus students. So it's a huge effort. They're doing a lot to save our data and keep us protected, and especially with all the different technology services that we have and we're offering to these school districts. Thanks. That's it.
Thank you. Anything from anyone else on the board? No? Okay. We will go to addenda. Any addenda from members of the administration? From members of the board?
I just have one question to ask.
Fenderson.
Yeah, thank you. Because I was gonna call you by your first name. That McKinney-Vento, that program, could you just briefly tell us about that? I had to kind of do a little research in regards to, it didn't give me a lot about how it works and if it's working or if we are partnership of it or not.
So we are a partnership of it. McKinney-Vento, the program existed prior to it coming underneath the HR umbrella. It is what parents can identify during the enrollment process if they are homeless, in which our enrollment specialists will see that information and then begin to identify resources. So the parent, it might not be homelessness, it could be that they need clothes for school, school supplies. So we work with those parents and families to provide resources.
What the question that I couldn't find is the parents or the enrollees, is it like a a subsidized type of, program where you know,
Through the federal government.
oh, so you,
So every single, and legally, every district has
Has
to
to.
comply to McKinney-Vento law.
got you. So, but that law, that's why I was asking, like, does it matter where your salary is as far as home? Like, I mean, how much you're making? Cause sometimes you might be a hardship, you know, and you're going from one place to another.
There's no salary
Understood.
stipulation. If you're doubled up, you know, people can be burned out of their
Exactly,
homes,
yeah.
you know, and they can become homeless, and so they qualify from that vein.
Thank you. I thought it was, I had not heard of it. That's why I was like, whoa, let me look, you know, when I saw that, because that is, you know, it's like we were just talking about everything's going up. And I know that there are a lot of homeless, you know, people out, and there are some articles of billionaires right now that are helping homeless. And there's an actual program in Detroit, I can't think of the group, but they just paid for homeless people for Good Friday to stay in a hotel, in Detroit. I can't remember their names, but you know, I just tied it all together, and it just shows us that, you know, everyone needs help.
It might not necessarily to be homeless, as we think of homelessness. It could be, I'm staying with my sister. My kids and my wife and I are staying with my sister for whatever reason. That constitutes a need, and like you said it yourself, with prices, and there's a lot of resources that's available out there, because low income is a struggle too. You don't have to just be, I get choked up, you don't have to be homeless to struggle.
Trustee Hoyter? Nothing? Okay. Any other addenda from the members of the board? Okay, hearing none. Trustee Smith?
Yes, the next meeting of the Board of Education will be held on Thursday, December 8th at 6 p.m. here at the Oak Park Schools Administration Building.
That is next Thursday. That's our special meeting. Everyone should have that on their calendars. I did send it, but I didn't have it on my own calendar for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's on my phone, but it's not on my laptop. In any case, it's next Thursday. So,
6 to 8, it's on the calendar.
It's on
You
the
were busting
calendar.
my chops about the calendar.
Excuse me.
I sent it to everyone else, and it's on my phone, but for whatever reason, it's not on my laptop, so I couldn't find it. But nonetheless, I will be here. But yes, I was busting your chops about that. If nothing else, then the time is 7:38. Without objection, we will adjourn the meeting at